Hey there guys, and welcome to Xbox On. EA Play is now part of Xbox Game Pass. That means for anyone with a Game Pass for PC or Ultimate subscription, you can now get a ton of titles from the EA library included, on top of the 100 plus from Xbox. That's a lot of games to pick from, so in this video, myself and Bex are going to take you through 11 EA Play bangers that you can play on your Xbox right now, whether you're on an Xbox One or a Series X or S. Starting with a big one that's been added to the library just this week.
Yep, for anyone who's ever dreamt of wielding a lightsaber, and let's be honest, who hasn't, Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order is now available on EA Play. Set between the prequel and original trilogies, this game casts you as Cal Kestis. He's a Jedi who narrowly survived the Order 66 purge, now in hiding. But that doesn't last long, and before you know it, you're chopping your way across the galaxy with unlockable Force abilities, a fearsome rogues gallery from stormtroopers to Sith Lords, and, of course, the best saber battles around.
And if you're feeling the lack of a new cinematic Star Wars this Christmas, then that's not the only game set in that galaxy far, far away that you can enjoy on EA Play. There's also the saga-spanning multiplayer magnum opus that is Battlefront 2, which lets you play out some of the most iconic battles from episodes 1 through 9 on the ground, in the skies, or even occasionally taking control of heroes and villains. Bagsy on Yoda. The service also offers 10-hour full game trials for newer titles, and on that list you'll find the space dogfighting beauty that is Star Wars Squadrons. These trials give you access to the full game with no limits on what you can do except that timer. So whether you want to burn through Squadrons campaign or just get stuck into multiplayer, that is totally up to you. And if you like what you play and want to buy it to keep, well, your progress will carry across to the full thing and you get a 10% member discount on the purchase. The Force is strong with this one.
Okay, let's bring things back down to earth with a bona fide smash, The Sims 4. At this point, the world's greatest house building, life managing game surely needs no introduction. But what you should know is that if you're playing on Xbox Series X or S, EA have officially announced that the game and all its add-ons will be optimized with faster load times and smoother frame rates. Speaking of add-ons, one of the greatest things about The Sims is of course the expansion packs that let you choose what kind of experience you want, whether it's petting a floof in Cats and Dogs or blasting back into the stars with the Star Wars Journey to Batuu content pack. And thanks to the perks of EA Play, you'll be able to get 10% off the price of any of these expansions that take your fancy.
Of course, it wouldn't be EA without those big sports titles, and basketball, ice hockey, and both types of football are represented in the EA Play library. Let's start with the kind where the balls are round and the goalposts are safely attached to the ground. There are a whole host of FIFA games on the service, all the way back to FIFA 15, so if there's a season that you miss, you can totally revisit it. But let's focus for now on the most recent options. FIFA 21 is one of the games offering a 10-hour trial, and as of the 4th of December, if you've got a Series X or S, you'll be able to play the optimized version in all its next-gen glory. And for unlimited play, there's FIFA 20. This is the one that introduced the street football mode Volta with a story mode that takes you to cages and car parks from Tokyo and Rio de Janeiro, as well as its own dedicated multiplayer on top of the usual 11-a-side stadium antics. And whichever version of the beautiful game you choose, a little cheeky bonus of EA Play membership is that you get 10% off those all-important FIFA points so you can bolster your Ultimate Team squad. Back of the net.
Now let's boot it across the pond to Madden NFL, where the EA Play sitch is basically the same, except with extra padding and a helmet on. You can play Madden 20 to your heart's content, as well as the 6 previous games in the series. And there's a full game trial of this year's Madden 21, which is getting its own next-gen upgrade on the 4th of December. You probably know Madden's deal by now, but the big new additions for 20 are QB1, the personalized career campaign, and Superstar KO, a fast-paced and frantic eliminator mode that compresses the whole experience from drafting right through to a tug-of-war tiebreaker into just a few minutes. So pro tip for anyone playing that Madden 21 trial, you can squeeze a lot of games of Superstar KO into those 10 hours.
One of the cool things about an all-you-can-eat library like Game Pass is that it gives you the chance to check the very newest titles, and go back and revisit some older ones too. Like for example, Dead Space, EA's classic sci-fi survival horror trilogy. All 3 games are included in the library, but you'll want to start with the first game to follow the whole story of Isaac Clarke. Isaac is just a space engineer with a job. Head to a mining ship that's lost contact with Earth and get it fixed. But he soon finds himself at the center of something much bigger. Namely, an infestation of necromorphs, horrifying alien zombies who can't just be stopped by destroying the head or removing the brain. Nope, to stop these creatures, you'll have to take them apart limb by limb. Luckily though, it turns out Isaac's engineering tools are very well suited to the task, and before long you'll be taking off legs and bits like it's Christmas Day and you're on carving duty.
Another huge EA series is Battlefield, and in the Play library you'll find every installment that's made its way to Xbox over the years, all the way back to Battlefield 1943 through to Battlefield 1 and its sequel, Battlefield 5. Look, they've got a funny way of counting over at Battlefield HQ, but it's hard to hold that against them when they make shooters this good. Battlefield 5 is the latest, taking the action to World War II, with a story mode that takes you to practically every front of the conflict, and the biggest multiplayer in series history. You can follow a military campaign from start to finish in the multi-stage Grand Operations, or throw yourself into a 64-player Battle Royale with Firestorm.
War might be hell, but our next game is Racing Heaven. Yep, we're off to Paradise City in Burnout Paradise Remastered. This is simply one of the best car games ever made, set in a city-sized playground made up of drift-compatible tracks, secret shortcuts, and plenty of scenery to smash while you're at it. The remaster brings more than just a new coat of paint to this classic, with a fat stack of included DLC packs adding everything from rideable motorbikes to a pass-the-pad mode, and even an entire island for you to race around. And given it already runs 4K at a speedy 60 FPS on Xbox One X, this is going to feel right at home on next-gen consoles.
So we've hit some massive titles already, now let's wrap up with a few games you might have missed at the time, but are well worth revisiting. The Mirror's Edge games are both stone cold cult classics. First-person runners where direct combat is an option, but your greatest weapon is your own agility, as you jump from roof to roof, run up walls, and slide across the ground like someone's just poured out a bottle of oil across it. Catalyst is the second game of the series, and over 4 years on from release, is looking great. The bright color scheme makes this a sci-fi future unlike any other, and that's boosted even further on Xbox Series X and S with the help of Auto HDR.
Next up, a co-op crime caper unlike any other. A Way Out is a narrative game about 2 friends breaking out of prison and going on the run, and you'll need to recruit a friend of your own if you want to make it to freedom. This game can only be played by 2 people working together to solve puzzles, take out enemies, and dodge the law. Whether you're playing it together on the couch or over Xbox Live, you'll both see the same thing, thanks to a stylish split-screen approach that switches up to perfectly match the action. And hey, this is also a cheeky opportunity to squeeze even more value out of your subscription, because if you're playing online, your partner in crime doesn't need to own the game or even be a Game Pass subscriber, thanks to the Friend Pass system that lets them take advantage of your copy. It feels like the kind of thing that should land you in the slammer yourself, but nope, it's just a nice bit of generosity from the developer.
And finally, one of our favourite games of the generation, which was a little underappreciated at the time, but has enjoyed a vibrant second life thanks to the success of Apex Legends, is Titanfall 2. Coming from Respawn, the very same studio behind the first game in this list, as it happens, this shooter seamlessly melds parkour, giant mechs, and some pitch-perfect shooter action. It's got one of the most inventive shooter campaigns around and a huge multiplayer offering that makes you realise Apex didn't come out of nowhere. In fact, because the 2 games are set in the same universe, if you spent the past year or 2 familiarising yourself with the Battle Royale's boomsticks, you might find yourself with a nice little head start when you fire up Titanfall 2. The Mastiff, L-Star and Wingman, they're all here and just as devastating. And you get a massive robot you can ride in. What could be better?
So there you have it, 11 amazing games to get you started on EA Play, and a few bonus ones we just couldn't help but mention. But with a library of over 60 full games plus all those trials, there's plenty more to find here. So let us know any gems that you dig up down in the comments. If you're looking to make the most of your Game Pass subscription or just want to stay on top of the latest with Series X and S, then you're gonna want to subscribe to our channel and hit that notification bell, so make sure you never miss a video. Thanks for watching and for hitting that like button, because we know you wouldn't leave us hanging. We'll see you next time. Bye!